Good morning. My name is Summer Keys, better known as Cadet Keys at the moment. I am 21 years old, and I am a member of the DC Fire and EMS Department's Cadet Class 27. I grew up in Ward 7 and graduated from School Without Walls High School. Throughout my life, I've always been driven by a deep desire to help my community. From a young age, I knew I wanted a career that would allow me to give back. I realized that becoming a firefighter and EMT was one of the most impactful ways to do that. Joining the cadet program was the first step in making my goals a reality. I see this as an opportunity not only to serve my community, but also grow, learn, and contribute in a meaningful way. Once I become a firefighter and EMT, I will be able to be there for people during their most challenging moments. This responsibility gives me a sense of purpose that drives me every day. My journey doesn't end with me becoming a firefighter and EMT. My long-term goal is to become a paramedic. This is an essential part of my vision of working in the medical field, something that I've always dreamed of but wasn't able to financially pursue directly. By joining the paramedic program, I'll be able to bridge that gap and achieve my dreams of combining emergency response and medical care. I believe that having firefighter and paramedic training will not only make me a better responder, but will also give me the ability to make a deeper, more lasting impact on the people that I serve. I am extremely thankful for the cadet program and the DC Fire and EMS department for helping put my dreams into actions. I would now like to introduce the Mayor of District of Columbia, Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Thank you so much. Let's hear for Cadet Keys. Give her a big round of applause. I have to say, Summer, I've been introduced to this podium a lot of times, and that was among the best. And I say that because I was looking around at everybody's faces while you were speaking, and you had their complete and total attention. They were listening to your story, that you are a DCPS graduate, that you want to use the cadet program to further your knowledge about medical care and serving residents, that you already recognize the tough job it is to be a firefighter, EMT, and paramedic, that you're meeting people in their most difficult times. And when they see you walk in the door, they know help has arrived. And so that's the job, right, Chief? Absolutely. That's the job. And so Summer is part of Cadet Class 27, which means 27 classes of our young residents, all educated in our schools, have joined the ranks of DC's bravest since the 1980s. And so today we're here at PR Harris Education Center in Ward 8, which houses DC Fire and EMS's Denise Beals Immersive Lab and Education Center. So as I shared last week at the Care First Arena, we are very focused on how we build a comprehensive system of care for our residents. And we have said it this way at DC Fire and EMS for as long as I've been mayor. And the point is we want our residents to get the right care at the right time. And this building supports this comprehensive system in helping to ensure that we provide that right care. Another example is the new hospital that we will open in Ward 8 in April. It's about investing in the people who provide that care, and it's about building pipelines for our residents to get good paying jobs in the healthcare industry. And I know we have great programs. We have the Advanced Technical Center that prepares high school students for careers in nursing and health. And we're opening a second Advanced Technical Center next year with Whitman Walker. And we have the Academy of Health Sciences at Calvin Coolidge High School. We have healthcare placements through our summer youth employment program. And we had a group of young students, I think last year when we talked about the summer youth program, talk about their experiences learning how to be doctors. And today we have a new program and a new partnership that I'm extremely excited about. And today I'm happy to make this announcement that the Fire and Emergency Medical Services Department is partnering with our public university. What's the word? The University of the District of Columbia. So today we are launching our first publicly accessible paramedic education program in Washington, D.C. I'm also excited to announce that one of our world-class hospitals, Howard University Hospital, will be the lead clinical partner with UDC and DC and Fire and EMS. So I am I will announce the leaders of these great institutions shortly. So this program will be an important entry point for the next generation of first responders in DC. It will train between 50 and 75 paramedics each year. 50 and 70 to 75, that's a big number, Chief. And this is a high demand career. So the program will serve as a pathway to the middle class for DC residents. So I want to thank everybody who has been a part of making this program a success. And our firefighters and paramedics are there for people in some of their most difficult times, for sure. So to talk more about this incredible partnership, I want to ask our leader, Chief Donnelly, who will be followed by President Eddington from UDC. And I just want to acknowledge Dr. Roger Mitchell, a DC alum, who is now the president of Howard University Hospital. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Chief Donnelly.
So good morning, everyone, and thank you, Mayor, for making all of this happen and supporting our dream of having a paramedic school that helps us train the responders that everybody needs. Deputy Mayor and so many other people here in this room have worked toward this for a long time. We first proposed this idea a couple years ago, and the mayor immediately said, wow, we should do that. That's simple. I mean, and it's taken us this long to get here because this is a complicated process to do right. And for that, I am especially thankful that UDC is our partner and that Howard University is our partner. Our students are going to have great opportunities to be the best that they can be and ultimately make a difference in people's lives. And that's what we're really about. DC Fire and EMS, as you guys witnessed over the last week, is a really good department. But we're also the third largest healthcare provider in the District of Columbia. And that's something that people lose track of. And that's what this is about. We don't do just one or the other, we do both. And I think that that's really important. Paramedics are essential to our business. And what they do in the field is they act as we have two levels of care. We have EMTs. They're on every fire truck. They're on every ambulance. They provide a base level of care. When I was a paramedic 40 years ago, that's about the level of care the EMTs provide now. That's how much their care has advanced. Today, our paramedics do things like administer whole blood. They can intervene in mental health crises. They talk to the hospital. They do just amazing things. They save lives, and they make people's lives better. We do things like pain management in the field that we never, ever thought about before, but we do that because we have paramedics. So the trauma of breaking a leg is lessened because we can give you pain medicine. So that's the way paramedics make a difference, and I think that that's really important to understand how critical they are. It's a shame then in our nation that we don't have enough of them, and again, for UDC to step up and help fill that gap is going to make the district a safer place and at the same time provide amazing opportunities to our citizens. So I think I'll just close with that and say that we are so grateful for everybody's support and getting us to this point. We have a lot of work ahead of us, and I know we're going to get there, and I know that everybody's excited, and that we as an agency are excited that the paramedic students are going to be engaged with DC Fire and EMS field providers to really learn how to do this, right? We're going to have top flight education in the classroom, and you're going to have top flight experiences in one of the best and busiest systems in the country for pre-hospital care. So that's really remarkable. With that, I'd like to introduce Dr. Eddington, the president of UDC.
Thank you, and good morning. I am Maurice Eddington, and I have the pleasure of serving as the 10th president of the University of the District of Columbia, and I am so honored and pleased to join you all today. I'd like to thank and recognize DC Mayor Muriel Bowser for your vision and her steadfast support of UDC. I say it often, she's one of our strongest champions and most visible champions. So thank you, Madam Mayor. Appreciate you. I'd also like to thank and recognize Chief Donnelly and the DC Fire and EMS Department. Thank you for all you do to save lives and keep our community safe. And as you alluded to earlier, the nation got an opportunity to witness firsthand the great work that you all do. So we appreciate you. And on behalf of the Firebird family, to one of our most distinguished alums, thank you, sir. Yeah, we take credit for him. That's right. That's right. That's right. And I'd also like to recognize and thank Dr. Roger Mitchell and Howard University Hospital for their collaboration on this vital program. Thank you to several members of the UDC team, including Vice President for Innovation and Transformation, Maria Bird, UDC Community College Dean Marilyn Hamilton, Associate Dean Bushra Ahmad Saeed, and many other UDC faculty and staff who will toil away literally for many months to see this program come to fruition. And special thanks also to Warner Session. I saw him in the audience somewhere. He's a member of the UDC Board of Trustees, and he has been an ardent supporter of this program as well. So thank you, sir. And to Cadet Keys, I'm truly inspired by your commitment to serving our community. Thank you for coming today and reminding us firsthand of the impact of and the tremendous need for the work that you do. Thank you. This morning's event celebrates an innovative new opportunity for UDC and our greater community. Allow me to share a brief overview of how the program will work. The paramedic program housed at our UDC Community College will be open to current EMTs who are DC residents and serve DC residents. Enrollees will engage in an intense academic regimen that includes classroom instruction, practical skills training, and internships in the field, supported by our lead clinical partner, Howard University Hospital. Students will explore topics such as advanced life support, trauma, pharmacology, and care of special populations. And they'll have the option of earning a paramedic certification or extending education with an associate degree in the field. That's outstanding. While matriculating through the program, enrollees will also be afforded an array of wraparound services. At UDC, we are committed to educating the whole student, providing the scaffolding and support that students need to succeed at the highest levels. We are hopeful that we will be able to begin accepting applications and welcome our first cohort in 2026. In the meantime, the program will undergo a series of regulatory steps, including review by a national accreditation body, the Committee on Accreditation of Educational Programs for the Emergency Medical Services Professions. It will also be reviewed by the DC Department of Health and internal UDC bodies. And the incoming program director and other academic leaders will assess our resources, faculty, and facilities to ensure compliance with accreditation standards. We are also working with DC Fire and EMS to establish an advisory committee for the program, and these individuals will help guide the program's development, implementation, promote community engagement, and help ensure our graduates are successful in the field. I'd like to mention here that we are actively seeking a talented leader with a background in EMS education to oversee the program. So if you're out there, please visit our website. The paramedic program in many ways is a pathway to enhancing emergency medical services in the district, a pathway for EMTs to advance to the next stage of their careers in public service, and as Mayor Bowser mentioned, a pathway to the middle class. At UDC, pathways is a familiar term. We have long been committed to providing routes for DC residents to achieve their professional goals and improve their economic outcomes. The university offers pathways to professional success at every level, from bachelor's, including workforce readiness, to master's, to PhD, to our nationally recognized law school. At UDC, we believe in meeting students where they are and taking them where they want to go, turning their potential into power. That's what we do. For those unfamiliar with UDC, our institution is truly unique. We're the only public university in the nation's capital, the only exclusively urban land-grant institution in the U.S. You may not know we're the second oldest HBCU in the country, and the number 13 public HBCU, not ranked by us, by U.S. News and World Report. We're an institution of higher learning whose legacy of providing opportunity and access to DC residents dates back to 1851. As a university that's built by and for DC, we have an obligation, a charge to serve our community. This mission is baked into our new strategic plan, delivering on the promise. In it, we seek to serve as a world-class flagship university for the nation's capital, a workforce and economic mobility engine for the district, a research and innovation hub addressing the district's critical needs. And we couldn't make this type of impact on our community without these partnerships that are on full display today. Working in hand with the district, UDC has been able to offer meaningful workforce development pathways in many fields over the past few years. In partnership with DC Public Schools, we provide support for career and technical education programs, the mayor mentioned that earlier, dual enrollment pathways toward in-demand careers. In 2023, we became partners in the mayor's new HBCU public service program in collaboration with the Department of Employment Services, and Director Morris Hughes is in the house. Thank you for your vision, right? And Howard University, right? We're partners in that fantastic initiative. And last year, we began partnering with OSSI and DOES on an apprenticeship program. Where's Director Mitchell? Thank you. That provides no-cost training for interested teachers. So today, we are proud to add this exciting, dynamic new program to our roster of collaborative partnerships with the district. We look forward to continuing to work in tandem with DC to provide local residents with meaningful opportunities to advance their careers, serve their communities, and transform lives. Thank you all, and I'm going to invite Mayor Bowser back up for Q&A. Thank you.
Well, give Dr. Eddington another big round of applause. I'm glad to see he's using my line. UDC is hiring. So we're looking for a fantastic leader of the paramedic program. And I know Dr. Eddington and his team are looking to hear from you. And speaking of great teams, I would like to recognize other members of my executive team who are here. I want to start with Deputy Mayor Lindsay Appiah, who leads our Public Safety and Justice Cluster that includes DC Fire and EMS. Dr. Antoinette Mitchell, who is the Superintendent of OSSI, the State Superintendent for Education. Dr. Unique Morris Hughes, who's the Director of DOES. In other places, she would be the Labor Secretary, and so we want to recognize her for her great work. Dr. Ayanna Bennett, who is the DOH Director, or our public health official, and Dr. Linton, who is with Howard University, the Chief Medical Officer. Thank you, Dr. Linton. And Dr. Wittberg, DC Fire and EMS, our Chief Medical Officer at the Fire Department. So all of these people have had a hand in making sure that we're building training programs that are training DC residents for jobs, on in-demand jobs, that we're not filling right now, or we're not filling with DC residents, and they pay well. And we need good paying jobs so people can have a good life and raise their families right here in the District of Columbia. Okay, any questions?
Marielle with DC News Now. A couple questions here. First off, just on the numbers, I know you guys said 50 to 75 can go through this program. Can you speak to how many paramedics we currently have and how that aligns with other departments across the country?
Sure. Chief or Dr. Bitberg?
Dr. Bitberg. So we have about 400 paramedics in the department right now. And what we'd like to do is have more so that we can expand and get more ALS care in the field. There's a National Fire Protection Association standard on standards of cover. It talks about how often you should have 2 paramedics on the scene and the time it takes to get there. We're close to meeting that goal, and we think by having more paramedics, we'd be able to meet that goal. And if we do that, we'll be way ahead of the rest of the nation. Most people aren't, especially in major urban departments, are not meeting that. And we're close now, and we'd like to get all the way there. So that's what it is. So there isn't a finite number I'm trying to get. I'll take them all.
Yeah. And how long does the program take? Is it a year? Is it a couple of years to go through this?
We'll let Dr. Saeed come up from our community college.
Hi, good afternoon. Can you please repeat the question?
How long does the program take to complete?
So the program will be about 3 semesters long once a student comes in. Each semester is 16 weeks long.
Okay. And then I know, Chief, you kind of mentioned just obviously what we saw, 2 weeks ago in the work of your team here. But if you can just explain again for people how significant it is to have paramedics available when a call comes in, whether it's just a house call or something as severe as what we saw with the plane crash. How important are these?
That's a really good question, like about the value of your fire department, your fire and EMS department at the end of the day. It is important that our workforce is trained, practiced, supported, has the equipment they need. And that's what we strive to do. So I think we talk about seconds count, and for a lot of calls they do. But for a lot of calls, it's not seconds count. It's knowledge and compassion and support and caring. So we try to teach a mix of all of that. Paramedic is a big portion of that because it teaches you more about the condition of the patient and the things that they're suffering from. So that's why it's important. So seconds count in certain calls, and the sooner we can get a paramedic to those calls, or if it's a firefighter to those calls, those matter. The other ones, if we get an appropriate trained person there, say our nurse triage line, and they're being assessed correctly, and then they're going to a provider that never touches us, so that's really good for them. So there's a lot here. It's all about knowledge, training, and having the resources, and we do. So that's what's making us successful right now.
And just one off-topic question for the mayor. I know yesterday you spoke to us about just the Kennedy Center and the board situation there. Since then, I know that now President Trump has been actually named on the board, so I just wanted to confirm, does this change anything for your board status? And are there any concerns about what types of acts and artists will come through now with these changes?
The board had a very brief meeting yesterday, and there was nothing about the program discussed. So I don't know the new, I guess his was named president. I don't know him, and I will seek out some understanding of his vision for the Kennedy Center.
Thank you.
Back to this, can you somebody clarify exactly who the program is open to? And is there a cost associated? Is there tuition? If so, who pays for that? And then my other question, is it a direct pipeline to DC FEMS?
So I can answer some of that, and UDC can pick me up where I might not have the right answer. So the program will be open to EMTs, whether they work for the District of Columbia Fire Department or not. And they can attend as a student of UDC. So there's obviously a tuition for that. There's tuition for our students as well, but for the fire department, we're going to pay the students' tuition to go. If for a student that is not an employee of the fire department. It is not a direct pipeline, meaning you graduate from this, you become, we have a hiring process. There is a hiring process for people that are paramedics, and they'll be able to enter into that and go through that process. Now, if we don't hire them, there's plenty of people that will, in not only in fire and EMS departments, but in other parts of our healthcare industry.
A Montgomery County Fire EMT could take these classes and get their certification
Yes.
here. They would just be responsible for paying that tuition,
Yeah.
or their department would pay that tuition themselves.
Yeah, that's the sort of the model that you see at Prince George's Community College and Montgomery Community College and Nova. It's the same thing. It is a community college-based paramedic program. DC Fire and EMS is a proud partner.
Cost that you can tell us what tuition would cost to graduate this program?
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi.
The cost is, it varies semester to semester. It's published on the UDC tuition rate. It depends upon where you're resident. We have in-state tuition, out-of-state tuition, and the metro area tuitions. They're all published. It's on the websites. It's per credit hours. So I don't have an offhand that overall how much it's going to cost, but we do it credit by credit.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right.
Anything else? One off topic, Mayor?
We actually have something. You want to say that?
Sure. So the DC Department of Employment Services often offers tuition support and covering the cost of learning, and so we'll be partnering to support fire and EMS and UDC to support DC residents that are interested in this career pathway.
Who aren't currently DC Fire EMT.
Our dollars are tagged for
Right.
DC residents.
Thank you. Mayor Bowser, just following up on yesterday on the executive order, you had mentioned that you had asked for an update from the White House. They committed to, just wondering if you've, since yesterday when we spoke about this, if you've gotten any additional information from the White House.
We don't have anything new to report.
Well, but have you heard subsequently, have you been given an update from the White
I
House?
have
that you?
not.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.